guys, and welcome to a new GTK ActionBar tutorial. Today we are going to talk a little bit about signals. Even if the GTK ActionBar itself doesn't provide any signals, it doesn't mean that you cannot use signals on it. Of course you can. I choose only at this point to show you some signals which we can apply them on the buttons which we are using on our action bar. In this case we have two on the left on the start packet, one in the middle, the center widget, and the last one, the camera button, which stays on the right side packet at the end. For all these buttons, of course you can use signals to catch different kind of signals, events which could happen. How this is working, how this works, we'll see in a moment. For this, let us call the G signal connect, and we are going to pass first on the, let's play with the button 1, and we are going to catch the clicked signal, which is the signal which belongs to the buttons. And of course we are going to create a G callback. Let's call it clicked callback. And of course we can use a message like the name of the button which was pressed, so that we know which kind of button we need to cast to G pointer, because the G signal connect expects two parameters, or better say two arguments, and the first one is the argument of the object which was the signal catched, in this case the button, and the second one will be a G pointer, which is the standard C void pointer. Okay, so let us create now the needed function. So void call back, no, I said clicked callback, and we are going to pass, of course, our button, GTK button, the first one, and the second one will be the G pointer data. And what we can do here, of course we are going to check against the button first to see that, to be sure that the right object was passed. So for this we are going to say if GTK is button, we are passing the button, then because it is happening, we are going to say something like let's say const gchar const message, for example, message, and we are going to point it to our data. Now that we pointed to data, we can print it G print, and let's say the button percent %s, because we don't know which one was clicked, isn't it? This is what we need to find out. And now we are going to pass the message, of course. Now let's see if it's working. So we have a clicked callback which we created. We have two parameters, the button and the pointer data. The button, we were checking if the button is really a button, and then we are saving the content of data in the message, and then we are printing it. And the callback function, clicked callback, which we created out here, was called through G signal connect. Let me compile it and run it. And yes, of course, I forgot the semicolon at the end. Now I'm going to click on the button 1, and says the button start 1 was clicked. Okay, which means works. Now we can make a copy and pass the button 2 here, start 2, and why not, let's make for the button end also, because it is the same. And now when we compile it and run it, no matter where we click, it will say the button start 1, the button start 2, and the button end was clicked and works fine. And this means we have to give something to do for the center widget, and for this we are going to do something else. We are going this time to catch another signal, let's say the button press event. So G signal connect, and I'm going to use not the connect, I'm going to use the connect swap this time, and we are going to pass the button center, this one right here, and we are going to catch the button press event because this is the signal which I want to monitor right now. And of course we need a G callback, and let's call it press event callback. And now the last parameter, we are going to pass the window. Now let us create a press event callback function, G boolean press event callback function. And of course now, because we are working with events, this time we need the event, the GTK event structure also. This is very important for you to know if you're coming now and you're not sure what I'm talking about, that you should follow my signal events and events playlist and you'll be fine. Anyway, I'm going to create a better playlist for the GTK signals somewhere later. Okay, so the first one will be the GTK window. Why I'm using the first one, the GTK window, and not the GTK button, is because I'm swapping the button with the window, so I need the window. Now I'm not interested about the button anymore. I only want to catch this signal on the button, but I want to send the window for this callback, so that's the reason why I'm using swap. Okay, so and the next one will be of course the GTK event button structure, because this is what we are interested in right now, event. And now, because we created the function, let us give it a meaning. So for example, first thing first, G print, we are going to print the button, I don't know, or better, the button center was clicked, so that we know that was clicked. I don't need to find out where the button is because I want to make something different. So I'm going to say now, if the event type, whoa, too much E. Why is doing this? Event and the type. We need to find the type of the event, and for this it's equal to GTK button press. So if the event type it is a button press event, this is what I'm interested now to find out. Then we are going to check again if no, better, you know what, I'm going to use a switch because it is much more interesting. And of course the event button, this is what we need. We are switching the event button, and the event button has more states starting with 1, 2, 3 and 4 and so on, based on which button you are using, left click, right click, middle click, 1, 2, 3 or so on like that. Okay, so let's say the case 1. The case 1 should be GTK window set title, and we are going to set the window. So the first one is the window, and the second one it will be a title. And for this title now, let's say left click button was pressed, for example. This is a good name, and then we are going to return false. Now I'm going to copy this because I don't want to write so much. 2, 3 and 2 and 3. And for the case 2 we are going to set the middle button middle button was pressed, and for the last one we're going to say right click button was. Okay, let us create also a default case. I'm going to say return true. True. Okay, and now I lost some of my, yes, now it's fine, almost fine. It's missing one more right here, and now of course we can return also true here. Now let's see, we were catching the button press event on our button, and we are calling the GTK Connect swap instead of GTK Connect, because we need to send to our press event callback the window, only the window object, and not the button also as well. We are not interested about button, only the window. And then we have created this callback, press event callback function, where the GTK window and the GTK event button event are needed. The first thing, we are printing the button center was clicked, because we need to know that the button was clicked, and once that we know that the button was clicked, we are going to set the title of the window with the button which was also clicked, left, middle, and the right button. Let's see how it's working. I'm going to compile it and run it. At this point we have right now the start button was clicked, the start button 2, 1 and 2 was clicked, the button end was clicked, and now watch, when I'm going to click the center, it says the button says was clicked, and the title of the window says left click was button was pressed. Now right click button was pressed, and middle button was pressed as well, so works fine. Basically this is the way how you handle signals if you need them for your GTK action bar. Okay, I was using on its childs, but it should work in the same manner for the action bar as well. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.